to practice doing a one card tarot pull. I am using this deck, which is amazing. These are the cards. So, I'm sorry, I don't really have a great setup here. So if you'd like to be a part of it, think of a question, okay. I think what I'll do is I will pull out 3 separate cards, but I want you to feel like you have ability to kind of pull yourself towards it, if that makes sense. Let's see here. All right, so I'll have pile number 1 card. Let's see if I can focus that a little different. Okay. All right, let's see. That will be there. Okay. So technically this is going to be, a 1 card pull. So we're going to have number 1. This is 2. And number 3. Okay, give you guys a second to kind of think about it. What do you feel pulled towards? Okay. All right, if we're ready. Let's see, for card number 1. The 7 of Swords. Okay. I'm just gonna take a look at this here. Well, for my amateur opinion, which I'm gonna try to do, and then I will pull from the book too. So, but for the 7 of Swords, this person looks to be happy. I see a smile on his face, and he's looking right towards us, it seems. He is standing. He's holding onto his swords. I see the clouds in the sky, blue sky. I just have a feel of good things. I see a bird and some flags, which indicates it's windy. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna pull out the book here. As I said, I'm still practicing on my interpretations, and this card is not one that I might have pulled enough to really feel I can give it. Okay, so here we go. So the 7 of Swords, it's an element of air. So the cloudy skies shows that the situation is not entirely clear. The man has a suspicious look, as if leaving without permission. All right. Bird on the flags symbolize the element of air. I didn't want to say it looked like he was leaving with these swords, as if he kind of took them, you know. But, All right, let's see. The theme is a time for tact rather than aggression. All right, so the Seven of Swords shows a man trying to make a sly escape from a military camp. He sneaks away stealthily with 7 swords held carefully in both arms. It seems that his departure goes unnoticed by the camp, and his look is one of quiet confidence. Okay, the pennants flying from the tent poles display bird motifs, which reflect the airy quality of the suit of swords. The sky is scattered with little white clouds, again emphasizing the connection between this suit and the element of air. The whole image depicts a carefully thought out action, which is planned and well executed, rather than something spontaneous done on an emotional impulse. So the divinatory meaning, the Seven of Swords, is an ambivalent card. It suggests a deed that is done in secret, a stealthy and even underhanded action. Yet it also suggests the use of tact or discretion. A positive interpretation of the Seven of Swords is to remind you of the wisdom of acting cautiously or with diplomacy. To not revel your hand too readily. For example, if you were to have an idea for a product that might be very popular, it would be unwise to talk about it before it is protected by copyright. When the Seven of Swords comes up in a reading, it means that you should be careful about being too free and open about your intentions or feelings, as such openness might prove detrimental to you. A less attractive interpretation of this card suggests that you are trying to get away with something dishonorable or even downright dishonest. If this is the case, it can act as a warning of the consequences should you be found out. Okay, all right. So there's that one. Okay, so for those who have picked the second card, okay, for your 1 card pull, we have the Knight of Swords. All right, ooh, we got a swords theme going. All right, this one I see there's a lot of wind, a lot of movement, very fast. Very confident though, with the sword pointed out as if in battle. But, you know, the horse is carrying him. Interesting. All right, I'm going to pull out the book here. All right. Here we go again. So the element of air, right? So the Knight of Swords. So to talk about the card here, let me pull it forward a little bit here. Okay, see? Beautiful. Okay, so The horse and rider almost fly along, giving the impression of extreme speed. All right. The horse's bridle is decorated with birds, a symbol of air. The trees bend back in the wind, which is symbolic of the power of the air element. So the theme is, welcome change that might be disruptive. Okay, so a dashing young man is riding on a racing gray horse whose mane flies out in the wind and whose legs are outstretched. The emphasis of this image is speed. The knight holds the sword straight out ahead of him. Clouds screwed across the skies, while trees in the background bend with the strong wind. His horse's bridle is decorated with birds and he wears a blue cloak that flies in the wind. His silver helmet is open to show his face, and a long white feather flies from the top of it. All right, so the divinatory meaning. The Knight of Swords, like the other knights of the tarot, appears on horseback. The knights are depicted in motion because they are all on their own particular quest. The Knight of Swords is on a quest for knowledge and information, not necessarily for deep wisdom, but more of its own sake. The emphasis on speed and gathering information as quickly as possible rather than as deeply as possible. The Knight of Swords is connected with Gemini, the sign of the zodiac associated with the acquisition of knowledge. Of knowledge and communication. Geminis love to talk and to think about obscured or interesting things, but like the butterfly, they only pause for an instant to gather nectar from the flower before moving off again, seeking another potentially more interesting flower to sip from. The Gemini personality is stimulating and free, but easily bored. Similarly, the Knight of Swords has the reputation for rushing into things, be it people's lives, affections to work, turning them upside down and then leaving them. In a reading, the Knight of Swords may represent an actual person who enters your life, bringing with him or her a somewhat chaotic influence before moving swiftly on. This may not sound as bad, or this may not be as bad as it sounds, because it is quite possible that you need such an influence in order to shake up the status quo. Alternatively, this card might suggest that you are wishing to develop your mind in some way. This may come into effect through a course of study or a change of career. Okay, so that's the second one. All right, we're on to the third now. Thank you for bearing with me. All right, so remember, it's a one-part card pull, so if you've picked one of these, it's that's what it is. So doesn't necessarily mean they all have to play into each other, okay? Oh my gosh, I very much so shuffled this deck multiple times before even filming, so this is funny that they're all swords. All right, so the Ace of Swords. So it looks as though we have the hand that is holding it, that is strong, coming through the cloud. May it be, you know, I can't help but think of, you know, the inner workings, whether you think of the creator or you want to think of, you know, something higher. But, you know, almost as if handing off this sword that can be used, you know, for your protection. And keeping with air here, so the feather, you know, I see a feather that could be indicating of a bird. I can't think of it, but the garland here, that's on the other side. All right, I'm gonna read from the book again. Hopefully as I get better with these, I will be able to share better my intuitive thoughts that come to mind. Or have better language, I should say, too. All right, so here we go. So element is air. So let's see. So the olive branch is a symbol of peace. All right, I was calling it a garland, but you know, that's okay. So it's a symbol of peace. It's beautiful. Oh, the palm leaf. All right, so not a feather. A palm leaf is a sign of victory, which is like peace, is an intellectual ideal. Oops, I'm too close. Okay. The sword is double-edged, cutting for good and ill. The clear sky is an image of rational thought. Mountain peaks are a symbol of truth. So the theme, the old order changes. Okay. The Ace of Swords shows an upright sword, which suggests truth, encircled by a wreath made up of the olive branch of peace and the palm leaf of victory. The hand holding the sword emerges from the right-hand side of the card, the side of action. The wreath itself is a symbol of attainment and achievement. The sword is double-edged, which means it can cut two ways, for good or ill. So it appears, so its appearance is always powerful. The element of air connected with the suit of swords is shown in the clear blue sky, while the plain mountain peaks represent a quest for truth and indicate that the mind is always seeking perfection and rational understanding. Divinatory meaning. The Ace of Swords is a powerful card that heralds a dramatic new beginning, something it shares with the other aces. The Ace of Swords, the suit connected with challenges, indicates the possibility of some interesting new circumstances. One of the traditional meaning of this card is out of something evil, something good will come. When the Ace of Swords appears in a reading, it can bring with it a sense of sweeping change, which may which may seem disruptive, yet is often necessary. However, it is important to remember that out of the chaos, something positive can emerge. A situation that may seem initially negative or unhelpful may turn out to be a blessing in disguise. all the swords are connected with the intellect, which searches for truth and justice. The element that is linked with the sword is air, which symbolizes the ability to think and conceptualize that is particular to human beings. This ability makes life more interesting, but not necessarily easier. All right. And by the way, I am filming upside down, so I apologize for that. Again, I had used the Beginner's Guide to Tarot, Juliet Sharman Burke. I hope that this was insightful, helpful. Please give me some tips, tricks. Maybe you would prefer to see a different type of spread, or maybe you'd rather me not read from the book or only read from the book. But yes, this was my first reading, so I'm really grateful for anyone who has stuck around this far. If you've watched it till the end, I hope to maybe do another one later. I'm not sure yet on how I will be posting, but this is a passion of mine, so I hope to see you again in the next one. Thank you again. I hope you all have a beautiful day, and thank you.